This is ridiculous. This is royally ridiculous. Oh, that's three losses in a row for the Carolina Panthers. And that's now three losses in the NFC South. Oh, man. So, Thursday night football game just finished. And Carolina Panthers lost in the second meeting with the Atlanta Falcons at home by a score of 25-17. Now, there were certain things that were going right with this game, and then many others that just really went wrong. Um, I know a lot of people say, this could have potentially been a trap game, and whether it was or wasn't, the main thing is you have to take every game seriously, regardless of what the other team's record is. You still got to take every game seriously, and just goes to show that Carolina couldn't come through and get the victory. So Teddy Bridgewater had a rough night. He had a rough night. Um, 15 of 23, 176 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Got sacked three times. Um, yeah, offensive line really struggled in this game. Atlanta was just blitzing like crazy, and it threw a lot of the offense off, and just it was just bad. DJ Moore didn't get his first catch into the fourth quarter. That's not good. I mean, and before that, he was only targeted what, twice? That's not good. Like one of your top receivers, you and only two targets before he finally got his first catch. That's not good. That's not good. And he was wide open a few times underneath. But only had two catches, 55 yards. Robbie Anderson had a five catches, only 48 yards. I mean, the ball was spread out. Curtis Samuel got the rushing touchdown and the receiving touchdown off the flea flicker, which was nice. But it's just high pressure situations that this team just fails on, and too many third downs. We're getting too many third downs, and not to mention, you know, we went for it on fourth down three times and only converted one, which was the fake punt, which we couldn't even get a touchdown for after in that at the end of that whole drive. But failing on two of those fourth down tries, and just this offense is decent, but in the high pressure situations they just don't come through. And just I blame most of it on execution, on protection, especially with the offensive line. And another big part of it is just the play calling. Like, just not a lot of adjustment, especially with the constant blitzing that Atlanta did. Teddy Bridgewater got lit up tonight. He really got lit up tonight. And I know we did get 2 sacks on Matt Ryan, and he didn't have a receiving touchdown, but got a rushing touchdown, and Gurley got a rushing touchdown. Like, they still ran the ball pretty well, and Matt Ryan, had a couple of scrambles, one being for a touchdown, and Julio. One issue was for most of the game, Troy Pride Jr. was covering Julio Jones, and I think a little bit of coverage from uh, Corn Elder. I'm like, why wasn't Dante Jackson on him? Like, that that made no sense to me. That made no sense to me. I mean, especially with no Rasul Douglas, you got to go with your next best. And Dante Jackson, he should have been the main one covering Julio Jones. 7 catches, 137 yards. Even after Calvin Ridley got hurt, Julio, and Hurst. Like, how do you not cover their top receiver? Like, but you know what? Looking at this game, I'm convinced that I'm pretty much convinced that the reason why this defense plays so much zone is that, I'll be honest, we really don't have anybody in the secondary that can play man to man. That's what I'm thinking. We don't really have anybody that can play man to man. If y'all think there is one, let me know. But that's my guess. Is probably why we play so much zone. And it's just, there's way too many holes. Especially when you're so used to playing zone like all the time, the offense is going to find the holes eventually. So just this loss hurt so badly. Not only was it a divisional loss, but it was against the Falcons that we just recently beat, and just lack of discipline and lack of consistency. And then we got to turn around and play the Chiefs next. The Chiefs. It's already bad enough we just lost to the Falcons, but we got to turn around and play the Chiefs next week. It's going to take a miracle to beat the Chiefs. It's going to take a miracle. But you know what? Teddy Bridgewater, he played his heart out, especially, coming back in the game after getting injured. He played his heart out. And that Harris guy on the first of all, now I normally can accept losing. You win some, you lose some. It happens. But if it's one thing I cannot stand, is when cheap shots are involved. And on the one play, not just one cheap shot involved, but 2 on Teddy Bridgewater. One being a blatant trip. Literally, the dude stuck his leg out and tripped him up on the scramble attempt. There's no, oh, that wasn't intentional. Come on now. Come on. That was blatant. The dude literally stuck his leg out to trip Teddy Bridgewater. You cannot sit there and tell me that won't blatant. So that's part 1, the trip. And then lastly, the diving hit after Teddy Bridgewater was already descending to the ground, and the hit was on the head and neck. Literally, potentially could have broken his neck. Thankfully, the guy got ejected from that. But honestly, after that one play, that pretty much just set me off for the entire game. I was just at the point where I was just like, you know what? Win or lose, screw the Falcons. I can't stand stuff like that. And after tonight, I've really lost respect for the Falcons. I mean, yes, I understand. It's one player. Well, in that case, two players because it was two different players. But that's just flat out dirty, flat out dirty. And when you got to do cheap shots like that, it sickens me. I just and then it's like I get so sick and tired of hearing so many fans still chiming in with the tank for Trevor, tank for Trevor. I'm like, do folks not realize whoever you put back there doesn't matter if the O line can't be consistent? I mean, one, I think people are being way too hard on Teddy Bridgewater, considering he has the second best completion percentage in the league. But this is not all on Teddy Bridgewater. If anything, at least the offense has been able to drive down the field and at least score. Most of the times it's field goals, but they've been able to get some touchdowns as well. The Carolina defense can't even consistently get three and outs. They can't even get three and outs. I think they had what, one three and out this game? This defense can't even get three and outs consistently. I mean, I understand holding teams to field goals is like a moral victory. I understand that. But when you can't even get three and outs, that says something. So if you ask me, the offense has done a much better job this season than the defense. Let's just keep it real. Mike Davis did have a few decent runs, but nothing crazy special. Jeremy Chin had the nice fake punt run, and Curtis Samuel had the rushing touchdown. But yeah, Dante Jackson did get an interception, and they were able to capitalize after that turnover, but just defense was just inconsistent. I had hope being that they scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but missed the extra point. But just high pressure situations, the Panthers just don't do well in, whether it's offense or defense. They just don't do well in. But Carolina's now 3-5, 1-3 in the division. And the worst nightmare is on the way come next week because they go on the road to play the Chiefs. Yeah. Anyway, leave your thoughts, comments, likes, whatever. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. And thanks for taking the time to watch this rant. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. I'll see y'all later. Have a blessed weekend.